A list in Python is just a way of keeping track of multiple things inside one variable. Imagine a shopping list written on paper. In Python, you can store that list inside your code. What makes lists powerful is that Python comes with methods. A method is like a built-in tool that works on your list. It usually looks like this. List name dot method name in parentheses arguments. The list name is the name of your list. The method name is what you want to do, like append or remove. Inside the parentheses, you give it details like what item to add or remove. In this lesson, we will go step by step through the most common list methods. I will explain what each one does, how to write it, and give you real-world examples so you will understand exactly when to use it. Alright, let's start with the most common situation, adding something new to a list. In Python, we can do this with a method called append. The word append simply means attach or add something in the list. Let me show you. Suppose I have a shopping list, shopping such as milk, bread, and eggs. Now I remember that I also need to buy apples. Instead of starting a brand new list, I can just append it to the end of the list. For example, shopping.append in parentheses apples, then print shopping. First, we created a list called shopping with 3 items, milk, bread, and eggs. Next, we used shopping.append apples. This tells Python, take the list name shopping and attach the word apples at the very end. Finally, when we print the list, here's what we get. Milk, bread, eggs, and apples. And in real life, this is exactly like pulling out your grocery list and writing apples at the very bottom. It doesn't disturb the rest of the list. It just adds a new item at the end, quickly and neatly. So, anytime you want to grow a list one item at a time, append is your go-to method. Now let's talk about another way of adding items to a list. And this time, not just at the end. Sometimes you want something to go right at the beginning or maybe in the middle. That's when we use the insert method. The insert literally means put something into a specific spot in the list. The syntax looks like this. List name dot insert in parentheses position, comma, item. Position is the exact spot where you want the new item. And item is what you are adding in the list. Let's say I already have a shopping list, but this time I don't want to add something at the end. I realize better is important and I want it right at the top of the list. Here is how I can do it. Shopping.insert 0, better. Then print shopping to see updated list. The number 0 means the very first position in the list. Better is the new item we are adding into the list. Python then automatically shifts everything else one spot over to make room. Therefore, the output is butter, milk, bread, eggs, apples. Previously, milk was in position 0, but now shifted to position 1, since we added butter in the position 0. So now butter sits neatly at the beginning without deleting or replacing anything in the list. That's exactly what insert does in a Python list. It puts your new item exactly where you want it. So remember, use append when you are fine with adding at the end, and use insert when the position matters. Alright, so far we have learned how to add single items to a list using append and insert. But what if you already have one list and someone else gives you another list? Instead of keeping them separate, you can combine them into one longer list with the extend method. Let's say I have written down my shopping groceries. And my roommate has their own list of groceries, cheese and juice. Now, instead of carrying around two supply lists, I can just extend mine by adding theirs. Shopping.extend, then in parentheses, roommate underscore list. And print shopping to see the updated list. We start with two separate lists, one called shopping and one called roommate list. When we call shopping.extend roommate list, Python takes everything inside roommate list and attaches it to the end of shopping. Now shopping has grown longer, containing all the items from both lists. Therefore, the output is butter, milk, bread, eggs, apples, cheese, and juice. Instead of checking two lists, now you only have one, and everything from the second list got added at the end of the first. One important detail. Extend always adds the new items at the end of the original list. And here's a bonus tip. If you ever want to join more than two lists together, you can also use the plus operator. That's another way to merge lists. So remember, use append for adding one item, use insert when you want to control the position, and use extend when you need to join two lists into one. So far, we have been adding items to lists. But what if you no longer need something and want it gone? In Python, you can remove an item from a list by its value using remove method. In other words, by its name. Let's see an example. Imagine I have a shopping list, but then I realize I already have eggs at home. I don't need them anymore, so I will remove them like this. Shopping.remove, in parentheses, eggs. Then print updated list shopping. We call shopping.remove eggs that tells Python look through the list, find the word eggs, and take it out. Python removes the first match it finds in the list. Then the updated list looks like this. Butter, milk, bread, apples, cheese, and juice. One important thing to remember, if the item you try to remove isn't in the list, Python will give you an error. For example, print shopping.remove in parentheses eggs. So make sure the item actually exists before calling remove. Therefore, you can see that Python raises an error since eggs was removed earlier. Now we know how to remove something by name using remove. But what if you want to delete something by its position instead? That's exactly we use the pop method. The pop here means take something out. And in Python, pop not only removes the item, it also gives it back to you so you can use it right away. Let's try it with our shopping list. Now let's say I bought bread, which is at position 2. Remember, Python starts counting at 0. Then bought shopping.pop position 2. Then print bought, print remaining shopping. Shopping.pop2 means remove the item sitting at position 2. Position 0 is butter, position 1 is milk, position 2 is bread, and so on. So Python removes bread from the shopping list. But unlike remove, it also hands the value back to us. That's why we stored it in the variable bought. Then the output is bought, bread, remaining lists are butter, milk, apples, cheese, and juice. Now, what if you don't give pop a position at all? By default, it will remove the last item in the list. For example, shopping.pop, print shopping to see the updated list. So now the list becomes butter, milk, apples, and cheese. And the item removed was juice. This is handy when you want to process items one by one from the end. Here is the quick recap. Remove deletes by value, pop deletes by position, and also gives the removed item back. So far, we have learned how to add and remove items from a list, but sometimes you don't want to change the list. You just want to know where something is. To do this, we use the index method. The index simply means position. In Python, the index tells you where an item lives inside the list. Let's take a shopping list. Now I want to know where is milk on this list. I can use index like this. Print shopping dot index milk. Python looks through the list from the beginning. It finds milk. Then it tells us the position, which is 1. Remember, counting starts at 0. So, butter is at position 0, milk is at position 1, apples is at position 2, and cheese is at position 3. Then the output is 1. That's exactly what index does. It finds the position for you. One important thing to remember, if the item isn't in the list, Python will throw an error. For example, print shopping.index juice. Since juice was already removed earlier, it no longer exists in the list. That's why Python raises an error. Always make sure the item is in the list before calling index. Index doesn't change the list. It simply tells you the position of an item inside it. Sometimes you don't want to go through your list from the beginning. Instead, you might want to flip it and start from the last item. Python makes this super easy with the reverse method. Let's look at a shopping list. Then shopping.reverse. Print shopping to see updated list. When we run this, the list changes to cheese, apples, milk, butter. But the original list was butter, milk, apples, and cheese. So the reverse method flipped out list in place. That means the last item came first and the first item moved to the end. Another way to reverse is with slicing. For example, shopping :-1. That creates a reversed copy of the list. Think of it like a to-do list. Normally you read from top to bottom. Using reverse, it's like flipping the page upside down and reading from the bottom to top. Ever look at a list and think, wow, this is all over the place? Python can help tidy things up with the sort method. Sorting puts your items in order, alphabetically for words or numerically for numbers. Let's take a shopping list. Shopping.sort, then print shopping to see updated list. When we run this, here's what we get: apples, butter, cheese, and milk. Python has arranged everything alphabetically. What if you want the opposite order? Python makes that easy to using shopping.sort in parentheses reverse to true. Then print shopping. Now the output is milk, cheese, butter, and apples. With reverse to true, the list is sorted in descending order, from Z to A for words or largest to smallest for numbers. Just like reverse, the sort method changes your list in place. That means once you sort it, your original messy list is gone. If you ever need to know how many times a particular item appears in a list, use count. For example, imagine you are keeping track of fruits in a basket and you wanna see how many bananas you have. Let's say we have a list of fruits: apple, banana, orange, banana, banana. If you wanna know how many bananas are in the basket, we just do print fruits.count, then in parentheses banana. Python goes through the list item by item and counts every time it sees banana. So here it finds 3 bananas. Think of it like looking at your fruit basket and tallying up each banana you see. You can use count for any type of item, words, numbers, or even more complex objects. It's super handy whenever you need a quick total without writing a loop yourself. Here is a quick takeaway. Count doesn't change your list. It simply tells you how many times a specific item appears in the list. The last but not the least is clear. Maybe your shopping list is outdated or your to-do list is done and you want a clean slate. That's when you use the clear method. Let's take a shopping list. Shopping.clear, then print shopping to see updated list. Then the result is empty. Clear removes everything from the list. The list still exists, but it's now completely empty. Think of it like throwing away your old notebook and starting on a blank page, ready for new ideas, new items, or a new list altogether. Therefore, clear wipes a list clean instantly. It's perfect when you want a fresh start without creating a new list variable. And there we go. We have covered the most common list methods in Python step by step. Append, add something to the end. Insert, add an item at a specific position. Extend, merge two lists together. Remove and pop, delete items by value or by position. Index and count, find positions or count occurrences of the item in the list. Reverse, flip its order. Sort, organize your list neatly. Clear, reset everything and start fresh. Whether you are managing a shopping cart, keeping track of a to-do list, or organizing data in a larger program, these tools makes your Python lists flexible, powerful, and easy to manage. Thanks for watching.